You've been able to obtain a lot of success in this realm, right? How have you been able to navigate through all of that and still be able to like come out like as one of the like number one nominate? Like that's not a small accomplishment. You see what I'm saying? So how have you been able to navigate?
Prayer. God truly called me into this and into ministry. I was sitting in the parking lot at the Salvation Army. My grandmother had just passed away, and I was at the point of like, God, what else do you want me to do? I've done everything that, the world says, society says I should have by this point in my life. I got the bachelor's degree. I got the master's degree. I surpassed everything that the doctor said I would not be able to do. And I still don't feel fulfilled. What would you have me do? Because I stopped rapping after the car accident. I didn't rap for 9 years. And God was like, you're going to start back rapping. And I thought it was the devil. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is not God telling me to start back rapping while I'm sitting here in this car. And he was like, yeah, this time you're going to spread the gospel. I'm going to sing it to the nations. And he started to show me all these different things. I started having dreams and everything. I Googled gospel rap. I didn't know about any of the names out there or anything like that. And the first gospel rapper that I saw was The Truth. And shortly after that, I started writing. I had not started recording yet, but Mixed Bag Entertainment had a 16-bar challenge, and they said whoever won the challenge would get signed to the label. And so I believe it was Aaron Cole that got signed to the label at that time. He won the 16-bar challenge. I was going to go for it, and I had opened up my laptop, downloaded the beat and everything, was getting ready to write, and God told me no, that I couldn't do it. And so I continued to just work, started networking, finished writing my music and everything. I had no connections, no relationships whatsoever when I started in this. And I finally, got my EP together, and God made me wait 4 years before I could release it. And it was but 4 years before I could release it, and it made sense why I had to afterwards, But before then, everybody kept telling me to put it out. I'm like, no, it ain't time yet. God hasn't told me to release it yet. So 4 years passed by, and then I finally released it, and that's when the doors opened. That's when the Stellar nomination came. That's when, I started modeling. You know what I'm saying? I started acting, and I look up and I'm on the set of Queen Sugar. I look up and I'm Exhibit's baby's mama on Empire. You know what I mean? But all of that was connected because I waited with the music, and then the doors started to open, and God stirred the gifts with other stuff. And then I became a published author, so all of that.
He's seen that episode, by the way. That's what he's going back to look at.
Imagine if I had put the music out 4 years prior. Empire wasn't even a thing at the time.
So I'm about to ask you that. How important is obedience, and then how important is obedience, and why do you think it's necessary to kind of just like don't release music like that? It's so many artists right now that release music. I'm talking about almost every freaking week.
Yeah.
Just to flood the internet. What is your perspective on that? Because I tell people a lot, especially some people I know, like, hey man, you need to just calm down for a second and just let the people, let it marinate so they can get used to what you're doing or get to know you, and then start releasing and come out with a tactical. What is that word? Somebody say this word.
Sound it out.
I would ask you, my sister in here, Professor. Tactical. Is that right?
You got it, bro.
Appreciate it. A tactical way to actually push the music out so I can know. Because I'm a DJ. So as a DJ, I'm like, bro, you Legacy, you just dropped a song and I didn't even know, bro. I had to find out on Spotify.
Yeah.
So how important is obedience first?
It's very important because everything is locked into your obedience to God, and you'll obey God when you love Him. You know what I mean? You'll do what He says. You'll wait if He tells you to wait because He knows all things. He's an all-seeing God, and so if He's saying don't go yet, don't go, because there's something up the road that is not quite ready yet. It may not have matured yet, and you can be premature in some things, and you can really miss your blessing by going ahead of time. Before it's time. I would say this: there is weight in the wait. There is WEIGHT. Wait is the weight of His glory in the wait. WAIT.
You got it right, Legacy?
Yeah.
Hold on, my New York City public school education. Give me a second.
There's weight in the wait.
Okay, gotcha.
There's weight in the wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know so many. You said you had got so many people that told you like it was like family, close friends, but you still waited. But why? I mean, I know you said God, but some of them people probably had some good influences. Right?
But God be tripping.
It wasn't time. I just felt it. It wasn't time. Yeah. You know, and one side of me wanted to be able to put it out and let people hear it. And another was like, hey, it just ain't ready yet. Packaging wasn't ready yet. The appearance wasn't ready yet. You know, I had to come into that. And I'm so glad that I did wait.
Chastity, how important is obedience for you?
We know Chastity now.
Hold on now, brother.
My bad.
I mean, it's obedience. Like, of course, it's important. Like, but I do think when it comes to music, I think obedience, of course, but you also have to understand where you're already placed. You have people that are in a position where it may seem like, okay, it's time to wait, or you need to just chill, but that may not be their thing. For example, Nick D. I don't know if y'all know him. Google him. Trust me. TikTok blew up. He switched the way he was doing his music. That's the road he felt that he should be going down. And every song, the guy put out a song like every week, right? And every one of them went viral, right? So you have those type of situations, right? And then you have situations where God is telling you, wait, for a purpose, because God deals with us on an individual basis, right? So I don't think we should put that on, like, put obedience and disobedience as the topic, because that's not always the case. You know, so you're not being obedient because you're not waiting. Well, if it's my season, then it's my time, then there is no waiting. This is my time, so I need to put it out now. Yeah. But yeah, if God is telling you, and you know, but she said it very clear, like, right. She knew. I don't care if everybody in this room told her to release it. She knew. It's up to her and her relationship with God to listen to the Holy Spirit and be obedient. That's why she was blessed. A lot of people was like, oh, you blessed because you did this, and you're talented in that. It's like, no, like, I have a relationship with God and I followed what he said. Amen. Abraham, you know what I'm saying? Like, every time he moved in God and the obedience of God, then a blessing came from that. Anybody really in the Bible that you can see. But we want to put everybody in the same category, and you just can't. You just can't. You can't put Job and Joseph and say they're the same. You can't. Right. Joseph's mindset and Job's mindset were totally different. It took Job a minute before he started complaining. You know, Joseph kind of complained right off the bat, but he still trusted God. You know what I'm saying? He was praying a lot, and he was honoring God in the things that he was putting his hands to, right? Job was already blessed. So when stuff was taken from him, he got down on his knees like, hey, bruh. Like, you know, I'm good. I'm a righteous man. So, like, what's up? So I think you have to acknowledge where a person is in their walk. You know what I'm saying? And just let them have their relationship with God and let it flow.
Chastity a preacher for real.
Yeah,
see the shoulder pads on the shirt going up, like, she a preacher.
I thought she about to whip. I thought she about to whip the collar out of her in the bag. Let me see.
Joseph.
I knew I should have zipped the shoulder pads because I felt it in my spirit you was gonna go there.
You gotta listen.
She wasn't listening. She ain't listening. She wasn't listening, my boy. Yeah.
No. Can I add one thing to that?
Go ahead.
During that wait, I learned the business. I created relationships and built relationships and developed those relationships and maintained those relationships. That's very important. And I will say that with the experience that I've had over the last 9 years, if I had went before my time, I would have been eaten alive. It would consume me. The things that I have experienced. So I had to go through that process and be processed, you know, in order to be prepared for times like this and for everything else that was to come after.